Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody is having a powerful, peaceful, and productive Sunday. Hopefully, the weekend is going smooth. Y'all conquering those goals, taking care of that health, mentally and physically, man. And hopefully, y'all got about 45 minutes to an hour to tap in and chime in to this build, man. Y'all see the subject matter, man. We're going to talk about young Shedeur Sanders, and we may even talk about Shiloh, the brother, in this particular build, man. The NFL is getting ridiculous in regards to how they are treating the sons of prime time, Deion Sanders, man. So we want to chop it up and build on that subject matter, man. But I'm going to give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with me. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Sunday. You know, talk to me before I start talking to y'all, man. What's the word? How we living, how we feeling on this wonderful Sunday? Hey, Ray, peace. What's happening, my good brother? What's the word? Hey, Airview, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living, how we feeling? Say we tapped in on this Sunday, man. About to talk a little football in this thing. I know y'all see how they doing the young bull, man. I know y'all see it. It's crazy out here. Crazy out here. We might have to. It's crazy. It's crazy how they doing Shedeur, though, man. It's wild. But what's the word, man? How y'all living, man? Let me know something. Little LA piece, what's happening? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I saw Shiloh. Once that altercation happened, I said they gonna cut dude. Like I saw that, as soon as I saw that he swung on dude, I said, yep, that's it. They gonna cut him. So I saw that coming for Shiloh, unfortunately. As soon as he had that altercation, I said they're gonna cut him just based off of that. Hey, Justin, peace, what's happening? All right, for sure. You already know. Hey, glad everything good though. But yeah, I saw Shiloh. I saw that cutting. I saw that coming. I saw it. I said, oh, he didn't got into this altercation. That's it. That's the last thing he could have afforded to have done was to do what he did. Not saying he would have still been on the team had he not done that, but that's all they needed, man. He gave them the ammunition to go ahead and take him out and cut him. Like, he made it easy. Oh, Shiloh. But with Shedeur, is crazy that they are even talking about him potentially making the roster or not making the roster. That shouldn't even be a conversation with Shedeur. Like, we shouldn't even be talking about that with Shedeur. That's what's crazy to me. The fact that they are even talking about whether or not Shedeur Sanders will make the Cleveland Browns roster is nasty work, as I call it. Nasty work. Lindell, peace, what's happening? Nasty work. For that to even be a conversation, for that to even be something that's up for discussion, like for that to even be a situation to where it is possible that Shedeur Sanders may get cut from the Cleveland Browns is nasty work. That should not be a reality right now at all for that young brother. Should not be a reality at all for that young brother. He should not be in a position where he has to think about whether or not he will make this team or not. And to have him right now listed as a fourth-string quarterback on the Dookie Brown, like that's what they. If you know football, man, you know one of the nicknames for the Cleveland Browns has been the Dookie Browns. Like that franchise is erroneous. It's horrible. The Cleveland Browns have a horrible history to where they had the nickname the Dookie Browns, and like Shedeur Sanders is over there fighting for a roster spot. Crazy. Crazy. Like this shouldn't even be a conversation, fam. Shouldn't even be a conversation. Like the Dookie Browns. Like if you're a football fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Dookie Browns, man. That's where Shedeur Sanders is at. And they got that man thinking he ain't good. He's not good enough to be a second-string quarterback. They got that man listed as the fourth-string quarterback. Man, that is crazy. And then you set him up to fail in that last preseason game. Put that man out there as the third quarterback. And I mean, he just ain't got no time to throw the ball. He's getting blasted. Yeah, TZ for sure. That ejection was garbage. And and once I saw it, I just knew what was gonna happen. I'm like, yep, kicking him out. Yep, he gonna get cut just off of that. And they about to vilify that man, make him look way worse than what it actually was. We've seen way worse. We've seen dudes step on dude. We've seen way worse in the National Football League. We've seen way worse in the National Football League, man. Like I'm gonna just keep it at that. We've seen way worse. We've seen way more despicable actions in the National Football League compared to what Shedeur Sanders did to old boy. Way worse. Just the Browns can't afford to do anything near close to what they do. First of all, they got 40-year-old Joe Flacco. They're gonna get him killed. Like a team is good, they gonna get that man killed. Like Joe Flacco, they gonna get Joe Flacco killed. Man, the Browns suck, and they gonna put a 40-year-old back here at quarterback. Like the only time you should be playing, you should be a starting quarterback in your 40s is if you are playing for a championship. Like if you are on a good enough team to where we may have a possibility of winning a championship or a Super Bowl. That's the only reason why you should be in your 40s starting that quarterback. You are a 40-year-old starting that quarterback for the Dookie Browns. Like, what purpose is that serving? The Browns, they trash for that. They trash for that. Joe Flacco shouldn't be over here starting for this team, man. Joe Flacco should be over here mentoring the young bulls. He served his time. The Browns are not going to do anything. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not even going to fight to be in the playoffs. Why are you putting a 40-year-old as your starting quarterback when you got young running backs, young wide receivers, all of this? Why would you put a 40-year-old at quarterback like you got an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl when you don't even have an opportunity to make it to the playoffs? Makes zero sense. 0 cents. You know what I mean? He should be there strictly to mentor young boys. He should not be out. He should not be over here starting. That's just crazy. You can get that old man killed out there, man. Get that old man killed. Lindell, you say, where do you put Deion in all of this as far as his sons go? At the end of the day, I'm not gonna put Deion anywhere, man. Deion just been a father. You know, that he's played the role of father as far as his sons go. Deion has been a great father to me from what I've seen. So that's the only place I'm gonna put Deion in all of this. He's been a great father, and he's been looking out for the best interest of his sons, which all of us would do. He's been trying to put his sons in the best position to succeed, in my humble opinion. So that's where I'm putting Deion. He has been striving this entire time to put his sons in the best position to succeed in a league where he thrived in, you know? So that's where I'm going to put him. He is doing things differently than white folks that have done the same thing, white coaches, white owners that have done the same things, where they try to put their child in the best position to succeed. He has just taken it a step further than most of them, in my opinion. And they don't like to see that. And I feel like that's unfortunately, his sons are having to deal with the consequences of that. Especially Shedeur. That's how I feel about that. Like they have seen like you got to understand, fam. We got to understand what we seeing. Like if Deion, like when Deion did what he did with his sons, like we got to understand if this would have turned out to be highly successful, how that would have changed the landscape of like coaching. And a lot of these other athletes following suit, putting their sons in position, putting their children in positions to succeed. They had to let people know, like, nah, it ain't going down like that. So they are making an example out of Prime, man. Unfortunately, his sons have to suffer the consequences of that, in my opinion. Because again, if we would have watched the blueprint of what Prime did, and this would have turned out to be a success, Shedeur would have went in the first round, first pick, second pick. And then other former players would have saw this, and man, that just would have changed the game. So this might cause some people to kind of deviate from taking this approach because of what's happening to Prime's sons. And I think the league has done this intentionally. Like, I feel like they are making an example because, again, what's happening to Shedeur should not be happening. He shouldn't have been the 5th round pick. He shouldn't be the 4th string quarterback on the Dookie Browns. He shouldn't have to be fighting for a roster spot. It just shouldn't be happening, man. Shedeur Sanders is nowhere near that bad at all. Am I saying Shedeur Sanders is the greatest quarterback on the planet? Emphatically, no. But he should not be going through what he's going through. And that's just a fact, man. If you got eyes and can see and you know anything about football, then you know what I'm saying to be an actual fact. Like, this should not be going down at the level in which it is going down. He is on one of the worst teams on the planet, one of the worst organizations on the planet fighting for a roster spot, man. They are literally trying to shatter the young Bulls' ego and confidence. Shedeur, like, both of them got that aura around them to where it's like, man, they unstoppable, man. They change. Wherever I go, you know, I change a franchise. Like, that's what I do. That's the energy that they have. The same energy that their pops had. The league, like, nah. the league is like, nah, we not going for that this go round. We not going for it. But in the same token, Peyton Manning, like, they what is that? They nephew, young Archie. he kind of walk around with the same type of mentality. Or Arch Manning, whatever his name is. He walk around with it. And Ace, that's crazy. Ace, the straight shooter, literally probably typed that up as I was going into that. That's crazy. But yeah, the Arch Manning, whatever. That young bull got the same type of energy. He got the same type of energy. He almost like the white version of Shedeur. And I'm guarantee you, he not gonna get penalized. He gonna be the first quarterback off the board, and he gonna go in the first round. Promise you. The energy is completely different, and the perception is completely different when you talk about the Mannings and nephew over there. Man, he was just over here in the trenches of St. Louis. Like, they got, who Texas got? I think it was his name, Ryan Wingo. And he from St. Louis. So they brought dude over here. They brought the young man in over here into the trenches of St. Louis, and he was walking around taking pictures and all that type of stuff with the young boys in the trenches. And they are applauding that. He doing that. All that's, look at that. Look at, he off here in the trenches. We glorifying that. We glorifying this young white dude, this young white Manning. We giving him cool points, invite him to the barbecue because he done came in St. Louis and took pictures in the trenches. Like, he from that life. That's cool. You know, they showing that around. That's going viral. They praising that. But Shedeur is out here confident, throwing up his wrist when he throw a touchdown, and that's a problem. Crazy. It's just crazy how the narrative flips when it's the white folks. Crazy, man. Trying to tell you. And Tony, yeah, exactly. He throwing up gang signs in the trenches around here. and we ain't saying nothing about that. Now, if Shedeur would have went into the same trenches in St. Louis, throwing up gang signs, they would have called him a thug. He a thug. He gang affiliated. That would have been received with all type of backlash. Because we've seen that. We've seen plenty of players get penalized for affiliating with the gang culture. But the young Manning can go into the trenches of St. Louis and throw up gang signs, don't know what he's throwing up, and they praise that. Don't nobody call him a young thug or nothing like that. But that would have been Shedeur. They would have been talking about he's gang affiliated. They would have been questioning his discernment as far as the company that he keeps. That's what they would have been doing. That's what they would have been doing. Young Manning go over there throwing up gang signs, like I said, don't have any idea what he's throwing up, and it's cool. Man, miss me with that, man. But that's what they do. That's exactly what they do, and they act like they don't do that. So we need to give the Manning family the same energy. Let him fall in the draft. Let him get drafted in the 5th round so they can humble him. Guarantee you that doesn't happen. Guarantee. And then even on another scale, I remember when the draft was about to happen, right? And they was like, man, Coach Prime don't want his son going to certain teams, and how that came out and how they was making a big deal out of that. Well, Eli Manning, another Manning, he was one of the ones that didn't want to go to certain franchises. Nobody make a big deal out of that. It was a semi-big deal, but he still went in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Eli, a certain team he ain't want to go to. They didn't get overly scrutinized and destroyed in the media. That didn't happen. You know? So again, it's funny. It's funny how the energy shifts when it's us versus when it's them. And this is just an actual fact of the situation. People always, oh man, why you gotta bring race into it? I don't do it. I'm not always bringing race into the situation, man. That's just how it is, unfortunately. That's the reality. Like, people such as myself, we just observe the reality of the world. We don't look at the world and say, well, it should be like this. No, we looking at the world for exactly how it is. Lindell, exactly. And that's another thing too, especially somebody like Shedeur. Like, they definitely don't want the black quarterback coming in that's overly confident. Oh no, and I don't even want to say overly confident, man, just confident in general. But like, you could be Baker Mayfield, you could be Johnny Manziel, you could be all these type of dudes, these white dudes, and it's all good. You got like I say, you got that competitive edge. You a competitor. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You a competitor when you Baker Mayfield and you Johnny Manziel. And then like even like Baker Mayfield, man, Baker Mayfield was on the Brown. Like, Baker Mayfield was garbage and got opportunity after opportunity to prove himself. Come on now. You think Shedeur about to get that? They gonna give up on the brother quick. Look at the Indianapolis Colts with Anthony Richardson. Yeah, Anthony Richardson might not be the best quarterback as far as accuracy goes, but man, they have given up on that brother already. Already, they have already given up on him. But you got the Sam Darnold, like, you got a bunch of other quarterbacks that be getting second a lot of chances to be decent. Man, Anthony Richardson, they gave up on that brother already. They replaced Anthony Richardson with with a trash white quarterback. Daniel Jones is just as garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't replace Anthony Richardson with him. You know, so man, we don't have the luxury of like being garbage as long as they had a luxury of being garbage. We're not gonna get as many opportunities. And this is stuff I can, like, just even on a personal level, man, I could just relate to it. Not on the white and black end, but I could just relate to my image not being favorable, and I have to take the back seat to people that have a favorable image. You know, so even on the black end, you know, so even when you take the so-called race out of it, you still have a situation to where you got certain black people that they will allow to be in certain positions due to certain images that they have and ways that they conduct themselves. And then you have people such as myself. I'm going to look a certain type of way. I'm going to talk a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to present myself a certain type of way. They can't control that, and they don't like that. You know, so I have personal experiences like when I was in high school, and I feel like even in college, man, it's all politics on all levels. It's politics on all levels, man. I witnessed and experienced the politics firsthand in high school and in college as far as football goes. Some of y'all may know my personal situation. Some of y'all may not. You know, when I was in high school, man, I literally, for those of you who don't know, I went to a larger school, what they would call classify as 5A, my freshman year of high school. To a 5A school, right? And y'all, if y'all don't know my size, I'm not the biggest dude, never been the biggest dude. If anything, I probably always have been the smallest dude or one of the smallest dudes on my roster as far as a football team, right? So I went to a 5A high school my freshman year. if you know anything about 5A and you know anything about schools in a district where there's a lot of kids, there's a lot of talent. Damn, it's a lot of talent in these neighborhoods, in these 5A schools. A lot of talent, a lot of competition, right? So my freshman year, I'm at a 5A school, competing with the best of in the neighborhood. And halfway through my freshman year of football, man, I was able to stand out amongst all that talent. Man, we had some talented kids in my district at the time, and I was able to stand out. I earned my spot. So it started off, if y'all don't know my history, I ended up playing running back. But my freshman year of high school, I started off as running back. I'm like, man, I'm running back. That's why I played in 8th grade. I'm like, man, that's what I want to do, running back. So then I get to the high school my freshman year, man, we got like 7 run. Everybody want to play running back. You know, everybody want to run the ball. There's like 7 or 8 of us. And we was all fairly decent. So they was trying to split the rock. I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work. So I'm like, man, how about I change positions? Boom. I'm like, how about I just go to receiver? And, you know, I chopped it over to coach. I'm like, man, I'm about to change positions, man. It's too many of us competing for this rock. This ain't going to work. I feel like I deserve to get this ball. So let me go ahead and change positions. So I ended up going to receiver. Ended up standing out at receiver. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm every bit of 5'6". So in high school, I'm at freshman year, I'm probably 5'5", 5'4", maybe. $130. You know, so I go over to receiver. Ended up getting a starting role. We played the spread, right? Spread offense. So I ended up getting a starting role in a slot. So I stood out instantly amongst all this talent. And then probably about a week or two later, after I stood out on at receiver, we ended up having a practice to where the receivers switched over to DB and the DBs ended up playing receiver. So then the coach had saw my skills at DB, defensive back, cornerback. And he was like, man, I didn't know you was that good at that position. I'm like, yeah, because y'all never tried me at it. I'm like, this is my natural position. I just rather be on offense. So then I ended up starting on both sides of the ball. I ended up playing receiver. I ended up starting at receiver. I ended up starting at cornerback. And again, 5A school where there's a lot of talent, a lot of talented kids that was in my district. So I earned my spot. Never asked for no handout. Never cried about not getting playing time. I just went out there, put in the work, earned the respect of the coaches. I've always been like that. So that's what I did. So then I transferred. Like I transferred over to a private school, Lutheran high school. And boom, that's where the problems start right there. That's where I get hit with the politics. Boy, I get hit with the politics. So when I transferred over to the private school, since I played the sport at the public school the previous year, I was unable to play varsity football. So I had to strictly play JV my sophomore year, football-wise. I was able to play varsity basketball, but track and football, since I played them my freshman year at the public school, the rule at that time was I couldn't play varsity. I couldn't run varsity track, and I couldn't play varsity football. So I'm playing JV my sophomore year football at a 3A private school where I'm trying to tell you the competition is way more trash than what I was just playing at this 5A school. This is some of the easiest football I've ever played in my life. Like my sophomore year JV football, every time I touch the ball, like I'm almost scoring. If you don't believe me, I literally have highlights of this stuff. Literally got highlights of this stuff on YouTube. It's my sophomore year. It got to the point where my sophomore year JV football, they had to sit me on the bench because they didn't want to run up. Like every time I was getting the ball, I was killing them. So they was like, look, we got to sit you on the bench the second half, let other dudes play because we going to keep running up the score if we keep giving you the ball. This is what was happening. It ain't even to talk about myself in a positive light and brag, but this is literally what was happening. And so I'm like, oh, this is about to be a breeze. The competition I was just playing my freshman year, this is easy. Man, we playing these slow white dudes. Like, I'm like, this is easy. So I'm like, I can't wait till I'm playing my junior year when I can finally play varsity. Fast forward, make the long story short, I get to this junior year. I'm ready to take over as running back. And these fools, and they done made a rule. Y'all know the rule. I talked about it plenty of times. Man, you can't have locks. You can't have hair past your collar as a young man at the high school 1 year after I transferred there. and I'm getting detentions and all that before my football games. Ain't never been in trouble like that. Now I'm sitting in detention an hour or two before football games, and then I just so happen to have one or two rough games, and they like, why? I'm like, yeah, because I got detention. I got to be at the school before everybody else sitting in detention, and y'all wondering why one game my performance wasn't up to par. So then I'm sitting in meetings. I'm having problems. Like I'm sitting in meetings. I'm having to talk to these Sambos, and dude gonna flat out tell me that we can't have you with your locks coming out your helmet. That's not the image that we want to portray. Like that's not the image that we aiming for. Like they told me this flat out of their mouths, man. Like that locks coming out of the helmet. Like that's not an image that they want to portray for this school. They don't want to be affiliated with that image. They don't want this high school and this brand of football to be affiliated with that image. They told me that straight up. And at the time, I want to say Steven Jackson was in the league. Running back, I think he was with the Rams at the time. Steven Jackson, and that's who dude brought up to me. He's like, yeah, we can't have you looking like Steven Jackson with your hair all out of your helmet. Like this, literally. This is what they told me. I can't make this stuff up. Next thing you know, after I'm having these conversations, all of a sudden, I'm getting benched randomly. I got benched randomly. Now, I can go. I'm about to show y'all. I'm about to bring up some things. I'm about to bring up some things, and y'all let me know. Y'all let me know something. Y'all let me know something right now. Hold on. I'm about to look up something. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. This ain't even to my own horn, but just give me a second so I can pull up some stuff here. We gonna pull up some stuff. Now, as I said, I'm about five at this time, high school junior year. I'm about 5'6" on the depth chart. They probably had me listed at like 150, but they added 20 pounds. Like my coach told me flat out, we're gonna add 20 pounds to your weight. That's what they did. So I'm probably at this time really about 5'5", 130, $130. Now, these are some of my stats my junior year of high school. 13 rushes, 81 yards. That's the first game I ever played varsity. Averaging 6 yards per carry. Let me go to another game. 8 rushes, 94 yards. Averaging 11.75 yards per carry. Let me go to another game. Another game. This game right here, crazy. 16 rushes, 119 yards. Averaging 7 yards, 7.44 yards per carry. Then we get to this game. We played a powerhouse team, right? I had 9 rushes, 36 yards. That's 4 yards a pop, right? And mind you, at this time, this is one of the best teams in the 3A district there. We playing one of the best teams. So I'm 9 carries, 36 yards. I'm getting 4 yards a pop. Mind you, I ain't got the best line on the planet. I ain't got the best line at all. Like I don't have a big line, and I'm not a big dude. And I'm running up through the trenches. So I'm getting 4 yards a pop against one of the best teams in the state of Missouri in 3A. I'm like, that's decent to me. So every 2 times you give me the ball, I'm getting 8 yards. That is the game they benched me over. 9 carries, 36 yards. First of all, you only gave me the ball 9 times. But every time you give me the ball, I'm getting about 4 yards. And like I said, we ain't got the best line. So I'm making it do what it do as a smaller back when you really need to give me the ball in space. Now, mind you, I'm telling you, they wasn't giving me the ball in space. When they was giving me the ball in that game, it was sabotage. They was giving me the ball, and I'm running up the middle. That's not my strength. Those games where I was mentioning where I had a bunch of yards, I'm getting sweeps. I'm getting draws, options, all of that. I'm getting the ball out in space. This particular game where they decided to bench me, now when I look back on it, I was like, man, they did what they did on purpose. They was giving me all handoffs up the middle, stuff that I wasn't normally running, and I ain't able to do nothing. Dudes ain't blocking, so I'm getting smacked as soon as I get the ball. And they set me down. They benched me and my fullback after that game in favor of some dudes who they wanted to put there in the first place. So in order for them to justify the move, they had to set up conditions to where we failed. So that's why I say I can relate to what Shedeur is going through. In order for them to put me on the bench, because they didn't like my image, they had to set up some conditions and circumstances to where I didn't look as good. And that's what they did. They say we're going to call garbage plays. We're going to run a 5'6", 130-pounder up the middle against one of the best defenses in the state, like he 220 pounds, like he Derrick Henry size. So they running me like, and then they doing that after I done just showed you I'm more successful when I get the ball out in space and I'm able to use my speed. Now all of a sudden y'all done turned stupid and I'm running the ball up the middle. And then you gonna blame it on me. Like they literally blamed the game, the way the game was going on me. Like, man, you ain't running hard enough. Bro, I'm 5'5", 130, and nobody's blocked. Like the blocking is horrendous. What am I supposed to do? I got one reel on my highlight tape where I pulled a Shedeur Sanders. Man, I juked the whole defense and I lost 2 yards. That's one of the first highlights on my highlight tape. One of my highlight tapes. I had to juke a whole defense and I still lost 2 yards. So what you my side, what are you supposed to do? Man, I'm trying to juke the whole defense and I still lost yards. Y'all can go look that up and see that. I just a highlight reel on my tape. I juked the whole defense, lost 2 yards. But yet that somehow was my fault that we was performing how we was performing. Which, hey, but like I said, I know exactly when I see people like Shedeur go through what they go through, man, I just relate because I went through something similar to where they just had to sabotage your boy, man. They just had to create the condition for you to fail. Society does that to the black man a lot. We gonna set up the conditions for him to fail. Then when he fails, or when he performs as expected, I'm not even gonna say when he fails. When he performs as expected, then they blame him. Even though you set the conditions, right? You calling the plays for me to run, knowing that like these plays historically for somebody my size and just the way I've been running over the past few weeks, not gonna work. And they don't work, then it's my fault. No, you shouldn't have been calling these plays. You know? So that's what they do. And that's what I hate to see what's happening to Shedeur because I know no matter how much you express on the outside, how confident you are, your confidence takes a hit when you're going through stuff like that. That's a fact, man. Your confidence is going to take a hit when you are being done like that. When you just know you better than what they are portraying you out to be, man. When you just know you good, when you know you better than some people in front of you, fam, like that. I don't know if you all have been there, done that with sports, man, but when you just know you better than somebody and they are playing in front of you due to favoritism and stuff like that, man, just favoritism and just politics, man, that's frustrating, especially with football, man. Football is not something to work. Like, listen, man, it's blood, sweat, and tears, man. Football is a dangerous sport. So when you out here risking your life just to get looked over, like, man, that's frustrating, man. Football is not the sport to where getting looked over is simple. Man, you are going out there sacrificing your body, sacrificing the health of your brain. You know what I mean? You putting your body and brain on the line every day in practice, every day, every time in the game, just for them to look over you like, nah, man, like that's frustrating. Football is a grueling sport, fam. Like, it's when I know I'm going out here putting in that work in a weight room and on the field, and y'all showing favoritism, man, that never set well with me when it came to football. Because football is just too dangerous as is, man. I'm not about to keep coming out here taking hits, putting my body on the line for y'all to be doing me like that, man. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. Now I end up injured. Now I end up with concussions for what? Like, for what? You know what I mean? Like, I got concussions after concussions. Like, I know for a fact, which I even hate speaking on it, but I know I got some form, like a level of CTE. I know it, man. I had so many concussions. I had a lot of reported concussions especially when I started getting to college. That's just the ones that I was vocal about. Y'all know if you didn't play football, especially if you played back in the day, you had plenty of concussions that you didn't even speak on, living dangerously because you didn't want to miss games, you didn't want to miss time. So I got a lot of concussions that were reported, fam. Them the ones that they knew about. Plenty of other concussions, man, that they didn't know about that I just played through. Man, football ain't the sport to be playing around with all that, man. Like I'm gonna either come out here and you gonna give me what I deserve and earn, or I'm just gonna have to keep it pushing, man. Because that's like I said, it's too dangerous. Put my body in and brain on the line. Nah, no. I mean, he better than Dylan Gabriel, and he is better than 40-year-old Joe Flacco. He better than all. He's better. Joe Flacco should just be a mentor. If Joe Flacco, like I said, if Joe Flacco was playing with purpose, like, oh, the Browns can win the Super Bowl, it would make sense. What point does it serve Joe Flacco to be a starting quarterback on the Cleveland Browns? The team is horrible. What is he gonna do besides get killed out here? All that deal for sure. I could definitely do that. Terenzo, Moses, man, Shedeur and Shiloh, all of them, the whole family. The Lakers fam, peace. What's happening? The whole family. And they tried, and every time we get a vocal black father, and I'm not even gonna say I'm not gonna say all of the time, but just a lot of the times, from my observation, when you get that vocal black father, boy, they face a lot of heavy criticism in that media, man. Y'all know the big baller brand. That dude didn't do nothing but raise some successful sons. And the way they criticized him in the media, you would think his sons were hoodlums and have done nothing with their lives. Every one of LeVar Ball's sons, they have been successful. Now, Jello, like, he rapping and stuff. I don't care for his music, but he did something with it. But all of his sons have succeeded. They are succeeding. And the way they would criticize him, it was almost like you would think that they didn't. Like that they're failures out here. You know what I mean? So we saw how that went with the big baller brand. Like, they want you, at the end of the day, they want you to just know your role, like to shut up and play ball, as they say. Like, look, shut up and play ball. Shut up and let your kids play ball. Like, they don't want any of that extracurricular activity. The Lakers fam, like that, and that's how I view it. He definitely needs a change of scenery. But the problem though is all the teams that I feel like if he gets dropped, it's like all the teams that could have gotten him. Like, I don't think they're gonna get him, or the ones that need him. I don't think they're gonna do it because they had the opportunity to take him. That's what's crazy. Like, I'm the prime example. The Saints. The Saints have a garbage quarterback situation. Garbage. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? The Saints quarterback situation, garbage. There's no reason why they shouldn't have taken Shedeur Sanders. The Saints had no reason not to take that man. And the dude the Saints drafted is horrific. Horrific. Horrible. That dude the Saints drafted is no Dylan Gabriel's not better than Shedeur, but the dudes the Saints drafted, or the dude the Saints drafted, definitely not better than Shedeur. Most definitely. Most definitely. Like, that's nasty work, man. Like, my man's needs a change of scenery, and that's all bad. Because he should have just got drafted to the right position. Like, I just don't understand why he should have just got drafted to the right situation. It just should have happened. There's no reason. Like, we have never before seen what the Browns did by taking Dillon Gabriel and then taking Shedeur. We've never seen that. They've never seen it. So that's how you know it's funny business. Like, what was that? What did y'all even do that for? What was the point of y'all taking Dillon Gabriel? What, they get him in like the 3rd round, and then in the 5th round drafting another quarterback? Boy, if they didn't tamper with that, bro, like if that's not telling you who really controlling things, man, like, that whole process was dumb. When have you ever seen something like that? I'd have been watching football for a very long time. I done watched plenty of drafts. I can't recall ever seeing a team take a quarterback in the 3rd round, then in the 5th round, turn around taking another quarterback. Haven't seen that. At least during my time of watching football and watching drafts, I have never seen a franchise draft 2 quarterbacks back to back. Well, not back to back, but like that close in proximity. Torenzo, that's exactly. Exactly. Miyagi, what do you mean now is showing? Shedeur had one moment, which was yesterday, to where he did not look the best. The previous preseason game, he looked fantastic. I'm not gonna say fantastic. He looked very good. He didn't look any worse than what Dillon Gabriel just looked. Playing behind the same situation that Dillon Gabriel just played. My man's had one situation yesterday to where he looked bad. And now we're gonna say now all of a sudden it's showing. Every level my man's then performed that, he has looked good. There are receivers that got drafted outside. There are receivers right now that are on NFL rosters from Colorado, outside of Travis Hunter, that I promise you, if Shedeur wasn't the quarterback at that school, they wouldn't have even got the opportunity to be in the league. I promise you. If you take Shedeur out there and put Dillon Gabriel on the Colorado team, those same receivers that have the opportunity to make a team now, they're not even going to come close to getting that same opportunity if you take Dillon Gabriel and put him on that same Colorado team. Travis Hunter going to be Travis Hunter regardless. But if you put Dillon Gabriel on that same Colorado team, none of them other receivers that now have the opportunity to flourish in the NFL will have that same opportunity. No way. No way. Like, let's deal with the real facts. He went to JSU, they turned that HBCU flourished. He went to Colorado, they turned that around. That's the fact. That's the facts. Let's look at all of the facts, man. Like, let's just not nitpick on the facts, man. Colorado went from how many wins to how many wins under Shedeur. I don't care what we want to say is the factor behind that, but we can't deny that. Colorado, that franchise turned around and Shedeur was the quarterback behind that. I don't care anything about any other reason why we think that happened, but Shedeur was there for that, and he was the quarterback. If anybody else would have had that same type of resume, this would be a different ball game, different story. Prime example, man. Prime example right now of who just got signed to a team. Who just got signed to a team. Who shouldn't be getting signed to a team, but he's finna be a backup. Carson Wentz. So now we finna say, oh, he went to a HBCU. He ain't never played no competition. Carson Wentz went to North Dakota State, man. North Dakota State. We can go down the line, man. We can go down the line. We can go down the line of quarterbacks who have gotten opportunities that have played in Division 1 AA, Division 2, that didn't play high-level competition and still turned out to be very successful. And they are still getting opportunities. So I don't even want to hear anything like that, man, because he didn't play at Jackson State all his years. Colorado is not Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? He played at Jackson State, then he went to Colorado, and he still succeeded. He didn't turn into garbage. He didn't turn into garbage. If he was really garbage when he would have went to Colorado, then we would have saw him fold under that pressure, because it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure under him. Miyagi, that's not. I don't care what Carson did. North Dakota State, when you have been a football fan, I don't care what you did. When you're North Dakota State, you're still not playing. You're not playing Oklahomas. You're not playing Alabamas. You're not playing these people. That's always been the knock on somebody that's come from like Division 1 AA. No matter what they've done, that's always been the criticism, is my point. Anytime somebody has come from that level of competition, they've always said they haven't played anybody, no matter if they went undefeated. If they went to North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana, the knock has always been, if a quarterback came from that, they will always say the same exact things. But he didn't come from that. And again, if you can ball regardless, fam. If you can ball, you can ball. Like straight up. Like if you can ball, you can ball. We got plenty of people that came from HBCUs that have balled. We got plenty of people that came from HBCUs that can ball. Travis Hunter was at Jackson State because of Prime. If Travis Hunter would have stayed at Jackson State, Travis Hunter could just ball. It don't matter. Travis Hunter can ball regardless, man. When you can ball, you can ball. Shedeur can ball, man. Shedeur can ball. You're not about to sit here and tell me, man, Shedeur Sanders is worse than Dillon Gabriel. You're not about to tell me he's worse than Tyler Huntley. You're not about to tell me Hendon Hooker is better than Shedeur Sanders. You're not about to tell me Spencer Rattler is better than Shedeur Sanders. You're not about to tell me Tyler Slaw is better than Shedeur Sanders. The eye test will tell me that Shedeur Sanders is better than everybody who I just mentioned. You're not about to tell me that. Just not about to tell me that. What's the dude name from the Raiders, man? Aiden O'Connell. You're not about to tell me these dudes are better than Shedeur, fam. You're just not about to tell me that. Mason Rudolph. Like, you're not about to tell me these dudes that I'm naming like Shedeur not better than these dudes. I will take Shedeur over all of these dudes. I'm going to take Shedeur. Give me my chances with Shedeur over all of these dudes. Easily. Easily. Miyagi, what did Shedeur Sanders do at Colorado? Like, what did Shedeur Sanders do at Colorado? Like, what did he do? And then on top, when you say on top of what, were you watching? Like, were we watching the games here? What was he doing at Colorado? For the longest, the consensus was you had Cam Ward and you had Shedeur Sanders. That was the consensus the whole entire time, the whole entire college football season. The whole entire college football season, everybody was saying the same thing. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. Until it was actual draft time, like weeks leading up to the draft, then that's when the narrative started flipping. So, Miyagi, so you telling me, okay, So if I'm all right, boom. I got 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I win Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. I'm setting a single season records for passing, completion percentage of 74, whatever the case may be. Now I'm trash. Mind you, especially that first year, mind you, you playing with a team where the running back is non-existent. For the first 2 years, like for his whole entire time at Colorado, the running game pretty much didn't exist. They did not have a running game. Running backs was, I'm not gonna say the running backs was trash because the line wasn't good. So mind you, so we dealing with a terrible line, which that first year that he was there, this was acknowledged. This was acknowledged. Like we all saw that. Like we all saw how horrible that line was when he first got there in the run game. So you literally are playing against, defenses are playing against you, knowing that you about to pass all day. Knowing that you're gonna pass all day. Like again, like we gotta factor in everything. We know that the Colorado, like that they can't do anything but pass the ball because they don't have a run game. I don't know what you were watching, Miyagi, but Colorado run game was garbage because of the line. So when you still succeed under them circumstances and you not necessarily a scrambling quarterback, that's good to me. Miyagi, you gotta run the checkdowns because you don't have much time to get rid of the ball because your line is not good. Like, what is we talking about? He did his job. Any other quarterback that does their job, they get to start in the NFL. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, they call them game managers. But when Shedeur Sanders is a game manager, now he got to be the fourth string quarterback, Miyagi? That doesn't make any sense. You got plenty of average game managing quarterbacks that have been tremendous. Blake Bortles almost took the Jaguars. The Jaguars almost went to the Super Bowl, mainly because of Leonard Fournette. But Blake Bortles is a game manager. So if Blake Bortles can start for the Jaguars and be a game manager, why can't Shedeur do it? Why he got to be the fourth string, Miyagi? Like I can name a ton of white game managing quarterbacks that have had nice careers being game managers. Shedeur at least deserves to be able to prove that he can do that. He's not even getting the opportunity to prove that. He's not getting the opportunity to even do that. Like, come on now. Game managers. But then when it's him being a game manager, now it's a problem. It's a problem. Miyagi, what are you listening to? Who is overhyping the dude? Miyagi, listen to what I'm telling you. How are we overhyping somebody that should not be they got the man as the fourth string quarterback. We are simply saying Shedeur Sanders is not a fourth string quarterback in the NFL, my guy. He's not. That's a fact. My man's is not a fourth string quarterback. That is what we are saying. The Cleveland Dookie Browns, Shedeur Sanders is good enough to start for the Cleveland Dookie Browns. He deserves the right to be able to start for the Cleveland Dookie Browns. I'm not saying that man should go to the Kansas City Chiefs and start over Mahomes. I ain't saying that man should go to Pittsburgh and start over Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm saying for the Cleveland Dookie Browns, Shedeur Sanders should be able to start or at least be second string. He shouldn't be fourth string on the Cleveland Dookie Browns. I don't know what you are listening to. But that man is nowhere near as garbage as to be the fourth string quarterback on a horrific team. That is the point that's being made. He had one bad outing. Were you this loud and proud the first preseason game he had when he went out there and did decent? You taking one out and then you running with it. Like that man first preseason game when he was playing under the same set of circumstances that Dylan Gabriel was playing under, and he flourished. I'm hoping you was this loud and proud when that dude went out there and did that. I'm hoping you were. But it is an actual fact that man does not deserve to be a fourth string quarterback in the NFL. That's just a fact, man. We've been watching football for too long. I'm naming garbage quarterbacks that are getting opportunity after opportunity to be second string. Again, I'm bringing up Carson Wentz. What has Carson Wentz done for me lately? Carson Wentz has been boo-boo lately, and he still can be second string, but this dude got to be fourth string. No. Carson Wentz days are over. That man has been trash for the last several years, and for him to be able to walk into a backup job when this man got to fight for a roster spot, no. And you know that. You know Carson Wentz don't need to let Carson Wentz go out there and play a football game right now. He's going to look way worse than what Shedeur just did. Because he did that. He was looking garbage. The last time they put Carson Wentz out there, my man's was looking just as bad as you saying Shedeur was looking playing with four stringers. Carson Wentz was looking like that playing with starters. Man, his time is over with. He don't deserve to be no second string quarterback right now. And if he does, Shedeur does. That's a fact. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That man should have an opportunity to compete for a starting job or at least a backup role. I wouldn't have been mad if the Rams drafted him, the Steelers drafted him, and had him be a backup. Not mad. But when you draft this man and you got this man as a fourth string quarterback, come on. Like, come on, man. like, come on. We're not gonna do that. Miyagi, we talking about the same league that criticized Lamar Jackson and was acting like Lamar Jackson is a running back, got to change his position. Like, we talking about this same league, man. This is what they do to us, man. Lamar Jackson wasn't supposed to turn out to be what he turned out to be. You got somebody to believe, you got a franchise to believe in him, and now Lamar Jackson is top 3 quarterback in the league. But he had to face all that criticism. He still be facing the criticism. You know what I'm saying? He had to face all that criticism. It was a select few that actually was like, man, Lamar Jackson about to turn in to be exactly what he done turned in to be. They wasn't believing in that. They had you thinking that man was going to have to change up his whole entire position in order to get an opportunity to turn out to be exactly what we know he could be. Like, nah, man, Lamar Jackson, like, I'm about to play quarterback. I'm about to show and prove. Now, I ain't saying Shedeur Sanders is no Lamar Jackson, but, man, I'm going to look at something. The way that brother carries himself and the way I believe in him, I'm gonna make the comparison. I'm not gonna make the comparison saying he will have the same career as dude, but I feel like his style of play could be similar if somebody just believes in him and put a team around him. Man, like Tom Brady was drafted and wasn't supposed to be what he turned out to be. Tom Brady was not supposed to be Tom Brady. He wasn't supposed to turn out to be Tom Brady, man. He wasn't supposed to be that, like, at all. And we saw how he ended up turning out. So they just gonna keep playing with this dude, man. When somebody get that man the opportunity, I promise you, Shedeur ain't never failed us, man. Like, he ain't never failed us when he got the opportunity. He got somebody, when he got the folks believing in him, man, he ain't never failed us. It's just an uphill battle at this point, man. He just got, once he gets in the door somewhere, man, and they believe in him and they give him that opportunity to shine, that young boy, he gonna be all right. He gonna be all right. Like, he gonna be just fine. He gonna be just fine. If he gets that opportunity at this rate. I don't know if he gonna get it or not. But if he gets that opportunity, man, somebody believe in him and they start him and they put him, of course, man, because you gotta have talent around you to win. You know, so if they put the talent around him, that dude ain't no way. We seen what he do when you put talent around him. So when you get somebody that believe in you and they structure the team around your talents, around your strengths, You thrive. Like the Ravens. The Ravens say, okay, we got Lamar Jackson. This how we about to structure our team. They thrive. The Philadelphia Eagles, like, we got Jalen Hurts. This how we gonna structure our team. We win Super Bowl. The Chiefs, like, we got Patrick Mahomes. He's this type of quarterback. This is what we need. We go get it. We win Super Bowl. The Bills, like, we got Josh Allen. This is the way he played quarterback. This is the type of team we need to put around him. We win. You know what I mean? So when you get a franchise and you to believe in you as quarterback and they structure the team around you, you're going to show up and ball. If you're not good, then that's when that'll show out. But get that man a fair share, man. Get that man a fair share, man. He showed what he could do. He had a great preseason game to me. He had a not so good outing. But I'm not gonna look at that not so good outing and be like, oh, he's straight garbage now. See, I told you. Like, nah, he's 1-1 with it. He had a great outing. He had a not so good outing. It ain't like he had 2 bad outings. So I'm not gonna do that. If he had 2 bad outings, then I'll be like, okay, this is a problem. That first preseason game he played in, he did good. He did good. Especially, again, also considering, like I said, a franchise, you with the Dookie Browns. Quarterbacks have went to the Dookie Browns to die. And then all of a sudden will leave Cleveland and then look great. The last example, like I said, Baker Mayfield was just in Cleveland looking horrible. Then all of a sudden he go to Tampa Bay. He looking like an MVP candidate. You know, the Deshaun Watson over here looking nasty work. Like he can't throw a ball like Cleveland. Like quarterbacks go to Cleveland and die. You know? And once they leave, all of a sudden they look great again. Or they look great. So not only do you got this, like not only do I feel like you sabotaging, because again, I don't care what you feel about them. It was quarterbacks that was drafted before dude that just they're not better than dude. Like I'll give you Jackson Dart. Like I'll give you the dude the Giants drafted. I'll give you him. I'm fair in my assessment. Man, this ain't no bias at all. If I feel like it's a toss-up, I'm gonna get that to you. The Jackson Dart, the Giants getting him, I wasn't mad at them taking dude over Shedeur. Even though I still feel like Shedeur should have went before dude, but I'm not mad at that. I wasn't mad at that. Because to me, Jackson Dart can ball. So I'm like, I ain't mad. I ain't really mad at that. I wasn't mad at the Giants. I'm like, the Giants, I heard BS and they should have took Shedeur. I'm not mad. Jackson Dart good. Like he's decent. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't mad at that. Them other folks though, no. Nope. Like flat out, fam. Like I'm flat out. Like I said, this ain't no bias or nothing. Like I said, I will give you Jackson Dart. I'll give you Cam Ward. I'll give you that. But that's where it stopped for me. That's where it stopped. That's where it stopped for me. Like Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe, nasty. Like that, to me, not a good quarterback at all. He shouldn't have been drafted before Shedeur. Dude is not good. Like the same way the same criticisms they have for like Anthony Richardson, I feel like apply to Jalen Milroe. He is not good to me. So I don't believe he should have been drafted before dude. Jackson Dart, I'm not mad at Cam Ward. But after that, and then Tyler Shaw, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing. Tyler Shaw was a slap in the face. Like he just shouldn't have went before. He shouldn't have went before Shedeur, man. I can almost see, okay, you took the Milroe guy and was like, we gonna draft him on upside and potential. I might even give you that. But the Tyler Shaw or whatever his name is, no. There's under no circumstance am I drafting him before Shedeur. None, not one. The Saints garbage for that. Like no reason for me to draft that buddy over Shedeur. Like I said, I might give you Jalen Milroe if you just going off potential and upside. Like, man, he might can turn into this, even though I don't think so. But I will listen to that and accept that. But I ain't accepting anything for old boy out of Louisville going over Shedeur. Not at all. Now, I'm not taking one. There is no way you can justify that one. No way. But like I said, it's even crazy. It's crazy that this is even a conversation. Every time Shedeur has a rough outing, everybody gonna be like, "I told you so," and that to me, that's nasty. You know what I mean? Like instead of like we can't even highlight he did good here and he didn't do good here. Like, nah, I told y'all. like bro didn't go 1-for-1. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. You know how many quarterbacks had rough preseason games that didn't look the greatest? Dylan Gabriel out here throwing pick sixes and whatnot, getting every opportunity to be trash. You know what I mean? We ain't say, oh, see, he told you when he throwing pick sixes and whatnot. So just get mad. Hey, just hopefully the young bull, man, don't let this affect him mentally and get him down, man. Hopefully he's showing improving, man. Just keep working and he get his opportunity to be the starter that I know he should be or could be. And he thrives. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping to see. Like that's what I'm hoping to see from the young bull, man. I'm rooting for the young bull. I want to see him succeed. Like I want to see the young bull succeed. On the eye test for me, he's nowhere near as bad as he's being painted out to be from the Cleveland Browns depth chart. So I know how that stuff, I know how that can feel. I know what that could do to somebody psychologically, man. So again, I hope this don't really get him down, man. Where you got to be playing with this trash organization and they got you fourth string like you just the worst. Come on, man. And then even on top of that, like we responding with disgust. Like when he even has interviews, man, most of the time he's saying the right things. You know what I mean? Like, dude just ain't like they just trying to make this dude, like they are literally trying to break this man. Like, man, Shedeur just be saying the right things. He would rarely get into trouble. And they just waiting on my man's downfall, man. My goodness. Cheeky, and that's every quarterback, every position, they got their pros and cons. That's his con, but I don't think that con warrants him to be a fourth string quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks that had that criticism. Miyagi, I don't think you listening at all. You listening to what you want to listen to. Because I didn't told you who else I didn't watch. I didn't told you who else I'm a fan of. Like I didn't told you this. This has been explained to you. Like this has been explained. Like I'm breaking down the quarterbacks that were drafted before him, and I'm breaking down the exceptions that I would make about the quarterbacks that were drafted before him. I'm telling you that there are 3 quarterbacks that I would semi understand. I don't think Jalen Monroe was that good or is that good. But if you're going off potential and upside, I may not argue with you. I personally would not do that. But Jackson Dart, I will give you Jackson Dart. I will give you Cam Ward. I'm not giving you Tyler Show, though. Tyler Show and no reality, again, for me, is better than Shedeur, would ever be better than Shedeur. You put them on the same type of team, Shedeur is going to be better than Buddy every time. If you put Tyler Show on the same Colorado teams that Shedeur was on, they don't have the same level of success. Fact. Like, there's no way that Colorado plays that good with that Buddy as the quarterback. And I've never been a fan of Dylan Gabriel. Like, I've never been a Dylan Gabriel fan. Never. Like, I don't think Dylan Gabriel is that good. Again, this was essentially considered a weak quarterback class, which I will agree with that. Like, it's a weak quarterback class. Like, it might just be one or two quarterbacks. It might be two quarterbacks, depending on what they do with Shedeur, that make it from this class that do something. I like Cam Ward, but I don't even think Cam Ward is going to do what they are saying that dude is going to, like, I don't think he's going to have a first round pick type of career. Like, I don't think he's going to have, and even that, Miyagi, I'm not hearing you talk about Cam Ward, who hasn't been looking the greatest. He ain't been doing anything spectacular in the preseason. Not one game. Cam Ward has not been looking spectacular at all. He's been looking average. So we might as well call everybody average. Jackson Dart looked decent. I'm going to give Jackson Dart the best preseason out of these quarterbacks so far. Cam Ward ain't looked no better than Shedeur didn't look. Cam Ward ain't been looking good at all. Ain't even been looking average. And you talking about the number one overall pick, Cam Ward has not been looking like he's the number one overall pick. He hasn't been flashy to me. You know, again, I'm going to give Jackson Dart. I'm going to say Jackson Dart has looked the best. That's my assessment from what I've seen preseason wise. And I don't really care about it. So I'm gonna give that to Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart, if they all get a fair shake, I think Jackson Dart will probably end up being the better quarterback out of this draft class. That's my take on it. So I'm not even sitting here saying I'm thinking Shedeur Sanders is going to be the best quarterback out this class. Like, I think Jackson Dart, especially considering the situation that he's in, probably will have the best career out of all the quarterbacks. I ain't gonna hate on it, but he can ball. Like, Jackson Dart can ball. I like Buddy. You know, I like the energy that he brings. I like Buddy. Miyagi, I have mentioned play after play. Okay. Now, once have you refuted the fact that when dude was playing at Colorado, the run game was non-existent and the line was garbage. And then on the flip side, you holding on to the ball too long. And then on the flip side, when he does throw the quick routes, you know what I'm saying? When he does throw that, now he gets criticized for that. So when he doesn't hold on to the ball too long, now you criticize him for that earlier. Check downs. Because he has to throw that. Because if he holds on to the ball too long, he's gonna get sacked because his line ain't good. So then when he check down, boom, now you gonna criticize him for that and say that's all he throws. When did he have the time in the pocket to throw something other than a check down when he was throwing check downs? Cheeky, I disagree with him being overhyped simply because this quarterback class was already weak, and he was always discussed as to be the second quarterback taken off the board, him and Cam Ward, 1 and 2. I don't see that being overhyped because I actually see that being as accurate considering the other quarterbacks in the draft outside of Jackson Dart. Other than that, what other quarterbacks? I don't feel like them other quarterbacks was supposed to be in the conversation. So I don't feel like he was overhyped simply because this quarterback. Now, if he would have came out in his next class, if all these dudes that's in this next draft class, if they perform how they supposed to perform, if he would have came out in his next draft class and then we would have been saying what we saying, then I'm going to say we overhyping them. But in this draft class with these quarterbacks, I don't think it's overhyped. I think we placed him exactly where he should have been, as either the second or third best quarterback in this weak draft class. I feel like that's always been a fair assessment. I don't feel like this quarterback class is strong enough to be saying we are overhyping him. I'm comparing him to the class of quarterbacks that he was taken with. That's why I don't feel like this is overhyping. I feel like outside of Cam Ward and maybe Jackson Dart, I don't feel like there's anybody arguably way better than dude that plays his position. I don't feel like you can say Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, and Tyler Shaw are way better than dude for you to say we overhyping them. I just don't feel that way. Again, if we was in a stacked quarterback class, and we was like, man, Shedeur is the best quarterback out this stacked class, and he came out with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, he came out with dudes just eating, and we still like dude the best quarterback in the class. That's overhyping him. I'm simply saying Shedeur Sanders is better than Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Shaw. That ain't overhyping to me. We talking about dudes who may never start in the NFL as quarterbacks. And I'm simply saying Shedeur is better than them. How is that overhyping somebody? I'm literally saying Shedeur Sanders is better than quarterbacks that may never start, may never be a full-time starting quarterback in the NFL. Well, y'all, oh my goodness. Do y'all understand what the word overhype means? And are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Like, y'all not listening to what I'm saying versus the definition of what overhyped is. Bro, are y'all not paying attention to the fact that I am clearly not saying that this dude is the best quarterback in this draft? I'm saying this was a weak quarterback draft, and I am simply saying I feel he is better than about 2 or 3 quarterbacks that may never start a game in the NFL, be a full-time starting quarterback. It's not overhyped. He shouldn't be the 4th-string quarterback on the Cleveland Browns. Man, that is not overhyping this man. Y'all are acting like we saying this man should be starting for every team in the NFL. He had the ability to pick him up to where he had the chance to start. It was only 2 teams for sure. 3, one of the teams I didn't know because I didn't know what Aaron Rodgers was going to do. But I was like, for sure, I was like, the Saints, he could start. If it's not me overhyping him. Like, I'm not saying that man don't get Aaron Rodgers with the way their quarterback situation is looking. He has the ability to start. That's all that's being stated. He had the ability to start. But to act like that man deserves to be a 4th-string quarterback on the Dookie Browns, no. And for y'all to act like we talking about facts, please go pull up a fact to where a team has drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round, then turn right back around and drafted a quarterback in the 5th round. Go find me that. Since we talking about facts, since we talking about debating facts and what people don't care about, Miyagi, go find me a situation to where that has happened. Why would you do that? It serves no purpose when you already got 3 quarterbacks on your roster. Please go find me a team that has done that, and please go tell me the rationale and reasoning behind doing that. Nobody in a right mind, when you are a GM of a team, is going to draft a quarterback as high as the 3rd round, turn right back around the 5th round, draft another quarterback. It's not going to happen. You are not going to find many examples of that happening. If you can find one example of that happening in the NFL draft, no reasoning behind that, especially for a franchise as garbage as the Cleveland Browns. You're not going to find that. So since we talking about facts, since we talking about what people don't care about, go find me that. Go find me a situation where that happened. Please tell me where they do that at, why that makes sense, where that makes sense at. It doesn't make any sense. Cleveland Browns had no business taking the man in the first place. You just drafted Dylan Gabriel. What did you do that for? You had Flacco. You already had Kenny Pickett. Then you draft Dylan Gabriel. Why would you take this man in the 5th round? You know what I'm saying? Why? The Cleveland Browns had way more other needs than to take Shedeur in the 5th round. Vocal Mike Vike, that's the only one that I was about to mention. That's why I said you're not going to find many examples of that. That's the only one that I was about to bring up. That's the only one. That's why I said many examples. That was the only one I was about to bring up. Was the RG3 and Kirk Cousins. The only one. On average, you're not doing that. Especially in that type of situation. Especially in that type of situation, the way the Browns did it. Because of all the energy surrounding Shedeur at the time. Like, come on. Oh, see, the Saints. Yeah, I ain't there. Yeah, screw the Saints for real, because the Saints not gonna be that good. The Saints gonna be horrible. That's who gonna more than likely get the Manning. They gonna get him. That's who gonna get. That's who I feel is gonna be the worst team in the league, and they setting him up. They setting them up. They gonna pretty much end up with the young Manning bull. The Saints, that team is horrible. The Saints are horrible. So I see them being in a run in the landing. Like that's my outlook on that. That's who I think gonna end up being, if not the worst team. They definitely gonna be one of the worst. They're gonna be in position to get them a quarterback next year, which is part of the reason why I feel like they drafted Buddy, because that's who they want. Because they know Tyler Shaw. They know dude ain't about to be their franchise quarterback. Like they know him nor Spencer Rattler about to be a franchise quarterback. They drafted dude knowing what the situation is going to be, and they're gonna end up drafting a quarterback next year or next season. The Saints gonna draft quarterback. See, yeah, whenever dude come out, the Saints gonna be bad. You know, I heard the same thing too. But whenever dude come out, the Saints ain't gonna be good. Man, the Saints not gonna be good the year after that. Vocal for sure. And I'm not even, which is the part of the game where I think people not understanding here. Not one, like I'm never said Shedeur was flawless. I just don't feel like he's a fourth string quarterback in the NFL, especially for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, he got parts of his game that he needs to work on for sure, because he's not a mobile quarterback. He's not mobile. So, you know what I'm saying? Like he holding on to that ball, definitely a problem. Hopefully he works on that. Hopefully he's not an Anthony Richardson. You know what I'm saying? Where they trying to get him to work on his accuracy and it just don't work. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that you can teach. That's something that, like, him holding on to the ball that long, to me, is not a problem that's not fixable. It's not like, again, Anthony Richardson, man, just was inaccurate, just bad. Like, he can't throw the ball on the money. You could be sitting there butt naked wide open. Anthony Richardson is going to throw that ball right over your head. Shedeur Sanders, like, his problems are not like that. Anthony Richardson, man, I'm watching games where this dude got cats wide open. And he hauling the, man, he throwing it to him, man, like he throwing that ball, man. You don't know who he throwing to. Like, man, who is Anthony Richardson throwing to? Dude wide open. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Shedeur Sanders' problems ain't like that to me. Him holding on to the ball long, man, you can fix that. Like, you can fix that. That's not a problem to where I'm like, oh man, I don't think he's gonna make it. His problem is just holding on to the ball. He got a level of accuracy to him. The deep ball can get a little shaky, but man, he can put that, man, hey, short routes, man, he could be a great game manager to me. He could be a great game manager. Like a Jimmy G, all these type of dudes that been game managers, Shedeur could be that. There's no reason why I don't think Shedeur Sanders can have a career like Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here saying Shedeur Sanders should be Joe Burrow. All I'm saying is Shedeur Sanders can be Jimmy Garoppolo. He can manage a game. If you give him the right type of team, you give him a good line, you give him a decent run game. We've never seen what he can do with a decent run game. Like, we've never seen Shedeur Sanders with a good running back. We don't know what that looks like. I don't know what Shedeur Sanders with a good running back looks like. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things about Shedeur that we don't know because he wasn't put in them positions. He didn't have that type of team. So I don't know what Shedeur Sanders with a Derrick Henry would look like. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know. You know, but when you put that man with the right squad, you put the right team around Shedeur, you give him two good. Like look at Jalen Hurts, right? Who receiving all criticism. You mean to tell me if I give Shedeur Sanders, AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, you know what I mean? You mean to tell me I don't think he can manage that? And then you got one of the best lines, one of the best defenses. Man, you give Shedeur that, man. Shedeur gonna look decent. I don't think he gonna fumble that. Now, would they win a Super Bowl? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But man, he's not gonna look garbage. Because look, you gotta understand, Jalen Hurts is another prime example. Jalen Hurts still don't get credit. People still ain't putting Jalen Hurts in their top 10 because they didn't put him in a good position. They didn't put him. The Eagles put Jalen Hurts in a good position, and he's getting criticized for that. He's getting criticized for a franchise putting him in a good position. I feel like the same thing would happen to Shedeur. I feel like if a franchise took Shedeur and they put all these weapons around him, then that's what's gonna happen. Like he only doing this because he got this around him, he got that around him. I feel like that same type of thing would happen. So I feel like it's almost he gonna be in a lose-lose with some people. I feel like if he's put in a certain position and you put a lot of talent around him, then I feel like that's gonna also turn into criticism, like with Jalen Hurts. Like Jalen Hurts is in a similar boat to where it's like it's almost he can't win. Like it's Jalen Hurts is in a boat to where it don't matter what situation he's in, like he can't win. Like man, you put this team around him and he's just doing what he's supposed to do with that type of talent around him, which is win. You get to the Super Bowl without Saquon and you lose. Then you get to the Super Bowl with Saquon and you win, and it's like you only won because they got Saquon. Like what? Like he made it to the Super Bowl, they just lost. He ain't had Saquon then. Who was they running back then? Was it Miles Sanders? Was it Miles Sanders when Jalen them went that first time? Went that Miles Sanders? Then he ended up getting that big contract with the Panthers, and Miles Sanders ain't been seen since. Miles Sanders ain't been seen. Miles Sanders fell off the radar, man. Now he with the Cowboys, ain't been seen since. You know he been facing some injuries, but man, Miles Sanders was eating under that Eagles. Like man, he took that contract with the Panthers. Man, the Panthers is nasty work, which goes to show you. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on the position, man. If you go to certain teams, man, and it's just not good, man. Like no matter how good you are, you're just not gonna look decent sometimes, man. Like your style of play, like the way you play, the system that you in, like all of this stuff factors into your outcome. Like I said, even when I played in high school, man, I ran the ball a certain type of way. My style of play didn't mesh with certain systems. So when you put me in a certain system and you call certain plays for me, it's not going to be as effective as if you say, okay, we gonna run these options, we gonna run these sweeps. I'm not a power back, so when you don't play to my strengths, man, it almost look like I shouldn't even be out here. But when you play to my strengths, I'm looking like the best person on the field. So I didn't face stuff like that, man. When you put me in the right position, obviously I got talent, you know what I'm saying, or had talent at the time because I stood out amongst a very talented group of people at my size. But then now it's like now you got to play to your strengths. So it's a lot of factors in regards to the success of a player, especially depending on the position. Shedeur Sanders, to me, he's one of those one. He is what I would call a system quarterback. He needs a certain system to be successful. I almost feel like everybody is like that. But there are some unicorns to where I feel like you can put them in any system or situation and they're going to eat. There are a few. But Shedeur is one of the ones where you got to have a certain structure for him to look good, which I don't find a problem with that. You got to go to the right team. Some players go to the right team. They go to the right situation. Cleveland Browns for Shedeur right now is not the right situation. And somebody said they almost drafted him for jersey sales and all that. I definitely can see that, because I just don't. It wasn't no reason to draft him, especially when old boy said he didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like, nah, like they didn't really want dude to begin with. Like straight up, like you shouldn't. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm just Saquon, man. Not Saquon, but man, it's crazy the energy that Jalen Hurts is getting. Crazy to me. Sometimes I don't understand what we want. Dudes go out here and don't win with trash teams. They trash, but then you be like, you know what I'm saying? Like they need to. Then they need to. Oh, they need more help. This and that. Then they get the help, and then they win, and then they only won because they got the help. We be saying things like, man, you can't win by yourself. You need a team around you. Then dudes get the team. Oh, the only reason they won is because of X, Y, and Z. Only reason he looking like that is because he got this team, he got this machine around him. It's like, so that's not that dude's fault. Like that ain't Jalen Hurts' fault. Like the criticism Jalen Hurts get is almost, to me, that is worse. Like I despise his criticism way worse than the criticism Shedeur gets. I'm like, man, Jalen Hurts, when I was seeing them list and they wouldn't even having dude in the top 10, I'm like, what? I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what? To me, that was some nasty work, because you get all these other quarterbacks receiving all of this help year in and year out, and they don't win with it. Just because you receive some help as a quarterback don't mean that you about to win. Like that don't equate to an automatic victory. You know what I mean? Just because you got all of this assistance on offense, that don't equate to that. That don't equate to that. Jalen Hurts did what Jalen Hurts supposed to do. Can't fault that man for the team they put around him and the system that's around him. I can't fault him for that. So yeah, man, it's yeah, man, right. Barely lost to him. Barely lost to him. Barely lost to him, man. Like over the years, you know, I come from a football family. Boom. Like that's just been watching football out the womb. Every time it would come down, like no matter the makeup of the team, when it would get to like playoff time and Super Bowl time, it would always boil down to who are the two quarterbacks. Like when I'd be talking to my pops, man, and back in the day, and when we was like, all right, man, when it gets to the Super Bowl, when it gets to the playoffs, when like the stakes are on the line, it's gonna always boil down to your leaders, man. Like who are the two quarterbacks? Whoever we feel like is the better quarterback, we like that's who I'm gonna take the win. No matter what the defense looking like, no matter what y'all done made it this far. Now it's like, who are the quarterbacks? Those are your leaders of the team. That's who I'm gonna roll with. You know, so at the end of the day, who are them quarterbacks? That's what I like. That who is the quarterback? And if I got a team, if I got two teams, right? If I got a team that's fully stacked, we done made it to the Super Bowl, so we the best out of the best, no matter what we feel like led to us getting here. If I got two stacked up teams, two of the best, like I feel very confident with Jalen Hurts on my team as my quarterback. If I got a team on this side and I got a team on that side, and we the best of the best, and Jalen Hurts is my quarterback, I feel very confident in winning that Super Bowl with him being a leader of this stacked team over here. Like I can't say that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that for every quarterback in the league, but I feel confident with Jalen Hurts. I feel like he's gonna do exactly what I need him to do to win me this game. Plain and simple. Whether that's give me two push touchdowns and throw for 110 yards, or whether that's throw for 250. and give me three touchdowns in there. Like whatever we need to do, I feel like he's able to do it. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Saquon wasn't the Saquon that we knew. Hey, and I had Saquon in my fantasy league. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I saw what Saquon was doing firsthand because I had him on my squad. And the year before that, I think what was that? The year before that, I had Jalen and AJ Brown on the same fantasy squad, eating. Man, I was eating with Jalen and AJ Brown. Man, he was come on, man. Like Jalen was launching that thing, getting into AJ. Man, I had plenty of good Sundays on my fantasy squad because of Jalen and AJ Brown, man. So when he needed to air that thing out, he was able to air it out. Yes, man. The Browns, man. Browns, they've been terrible for a very long time, man. They had a few moments to where it was like a little bit of hope. They had a few moments. You know, they've had a few moments of hope, but man, for the most part, overall as a franchise, man, garbage. And the Saints, man, you know you bad as a franchise when you just got horrible nicknames, man, like the Aints. You know what I mean? Like when you the Dookie Browns, you the Aints. Like you know your franchise has historically been bad when you got them type of nicknames, man. Literally, we call them the Aints. That's bad, fam. And you know what I'm saying? Like Drew Brees and them helped turn that around a little bit, but they didn't went right back to being the Aints now. But yeah, man, I'm not to even make this like a sports episode, but it didn't turn into that. But man, what is all my NFL fans? What's some of y'all bold takes? My bold take. I got two of them. One of them is not bold, but a bold take. And I know this is a stretch, but I feel like, but I done been right a few times. I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. Then I'm about to get up off this thing. Last year, these are people that like I be knowing what I'm talking about with sports. I just don't get on here and talk about it. Last year, right before the season started, fam, I was having a conversation with my pops and my brother, and we was talking about placing bets. You know, because we can't bet legally here in Missouri yet, but we can go across the river and place our bets. I'll never forget the conversation. My pops was gung ho on Caleb Williams. He was like, I'm gonna bet on the Bears making the playoffs. I'm gonna bet on Caleb Williams doing this and that. And I forgot what my brother said. But I told him, I said, nah. I say, man, here's my boat. I say, here's my bet. I say, Jaden Daniels gonna take the Commanders to the playoffs. And I said he gonna win Rookie of the Year. This is what I said midway through this, like right after the draft. I said I think Jaden Daniels is better right now than Caleb Williams, and I said the Commanders gonna be way better than the Bears. I said the Commanders gonna make the playoffs, the Bears not, and I said Jaden Daniels gonna be Rookie of the Year. Do y'all know how much money I missed out on because I never made that bet? I don't know if you all like, because we prisoners of the moment. But at the time, nobody had Jaden Daniels being Rookie of the Year, nor the Commanders making the playoffs. Not at all. I forgot what the odds were, but if I would have made like $100 bet on both of those bets, man, I would have won thousands. But like an idiot, I didn't go to the casino and make the bet. I sat there and told my pops, I said the Commanders gonna make the playoffs, and Jaden Daniels gonna be Rookie of the Year. Caleb Williams ain't gonna do it. And to this day, I missed out on bread because I didn't go up to the casino to make that bet. Called it. The year Jaden Daniels had, I sat there and called it. I knew dude was saying do that. I was like, the Commanders gonna make the playoffs. And I said that full confidence. I was like, man, that dude is him. Jaden Daniels gonna take them to Scary Terry got him a quarterback. I say the Commanders are going to the playoffs. Simply off of the strength of Jaden Daniels. Like he about to get him there. And man, I straight didn't place that bet, fam. Didn't place that bet. The Commanders making the playoffs would have $100 would have turned in about 5,000. I forgot the odds, man, but we had looked them up at that time. And like all I would have had to do is put 100 down on each side, and I probably would have been up 7,000-8,000. I would have been up 7,000-8,000. I was rocking with Jaden at that, like, man, I ain't put the money on him, man. I was like a fool. But my bold take, two of my bold takes, I feel like old buddy, I can't never say his name right. Man, I can't say dude's name right. I hate mispronouncing his name, but Emeka Egbuka, from the Bucks, I feel like he gonna be close to winning offensive rookie of the year. Like that's one of my bold takes. I feel like that, but I feel like he about to show out for Tampa Bay. Like I feel that buddy is nice. Like I feel like dude, depending on what Cam Ward and them do, you know, they love to get that to a quarterback. So if quarterbacks come out here look decent, they will give it to the quarterback. But if Cam Ward ain't looking decent, then I think Buddy gonna take it. I think dude, the Mecca from Tampa Bay, I think he gonna be the offensive rookie of the year if Cam Ward don't come out here looking decent. Like Buddy about to eat. Like Buddy nice. And I think Luther Burden gonna come out here and shock folks. Now that may be the hometown bias in me because he's from the crib, but I think Buddy gonna eat. Luther Burden about to have a spectacular rookie campaign. Again, he's from the crib. I personally know some people that they coached him, but Buddy also can ball. And he also kind of slid in the draft due to attitude concerns, man. But Buddy is nice. Lindell, yeah, they waived him due to that altercation. But yeah, I got a few people to look out for, you know, as far as the rookies. You know, when you be doing all this fantasy football stuff, man, you be scouting. You be scouting folks. You know, I done scouted a lot of these rookies, man. Like the tight end from the Indianapolis Colts, Warren, he about to be nice. He gonna jump up the tight end rankings. You know, just keep in mind. I said y'all heard that here first. Like he gonna jump in. I mean, I had a few situations last year. Another person who I predicted that was gonna do what he did was Bucky Irvin. If y'all know that, if y'all watch Tampa Bay, Bucky Irvin. I drafted that dude in several leagues. I drafted Bucky Irvin in several leagues. And like the end, Bucky Irvin, I was like, man, Bucky Irvin was sliding. I took Bucky Irvin in like 3 or 4 leagues that I'm in. And I was like, boy, y'all sleeping on Bucky Irvin. I say, as soon as he gets the opportunity, he gonna take the spot from Buddy. Guess what? That's what happened. And Brian Thomas, I also said that. I said Brian Thomas is gonna be the best receiver out of this draft, at least this rookie year. Now, Malik Neighbors was eating, but I was like, Brian Thomas about to show y'all something. If y'all play fantasy football, if y'all know what a keeper league is, I'm in a keeper league, right? I drafted Brian Thomas in like the 13th round in one of my leagues to show y'all what be going on out here. I drafted Brian Thomas Jr. in round 13 in a keeper league. Well, who y'all think I kept this year? Easy. Man, my scout radar, I be on it, man. I be scouting. I can tell y'all something about some rookies, man. Like I can tell y'all who gonna be a rookie. Who Big Sky, you say who you keeping an eye on in Carolina. It's funny that you mentioned that because Carolina is one of the squads I be tapped into. I hope Bryce Young I feel like he should have a way better year, but that's gonna be a toss up. But I do like old T-Mac that they got over there. I like T-Mac, and I feel like they say Hunter Renfrow been looking decent, but I feel like Buddy from Colorado, if they give him an opportunity, Jimmy Horn over there, then I feel like he gonna eat. But I like T-Mac. I don't like Buddy they drafted last year, Leggett or whatever. Not a big fan of him. I like Chuba Hubbard for sure. And then they drafted Travis Etienne brother over there, the running back from Georgia. I feel like that, you know, they got Rico Dowdle over there too, so they got like 3 running backs. But I like Chuba, man. I like Chuba for sure. I like T-Mac over there. at the receiver. I feel like he's gonna be decent. He's gonna be a big target for Bryce Young. I don't like Leggett. I feel like Jimmy Horn or Hunter Renfrow gonna end up being kind of like the second target over there over Dude, but he might surprise me. But I ain't really a big fan of Dude like that. But man, I win money in fantasy football every year, man. Like, hey, I'm the scouting game on point. Like I say, man, if I wanted to turn this thing into a sports podcast, I could, man. That's life. Ball, like what these sports is like. Lorenzo, yeah, Penix, he on my radar. I drafted him in a few leagues as my backup quarterback because I feel like big things are coming, man. Like I fool with Dude. And he got all the weapons. He got all the weapons around him. You know, you got top 10 receiver. You got the top 3 running back, man. Bijan is Dude. You know, hopefully Kyle Pitts actually produce. But man, Kyle Pitts, they tell you Kyle Pitts about to break out every year. He never do it. So hopefully this might be the year. Hopefully Penix is the dude to get him there. But man, they hype Kyle Pitts up every year. And I drafted him a few times thinking this the year. And he don't never do nothing. So I'm hoping Dude to be able to get him to eat. Because I'm tired of them telling me this dude about to eat and he don't, man. I hope Dude have one great season finally. But I think the Falcons gonna be an under the radar, sneaky good squad, especially considering the division that they in. The Baker Mayfield and them did what they did last year, but they not like a team that I would fear. Not worried about the Saints, not worried about Carolina. Like I think the Falcons could low key, sneaky win that division. Like I know what Baker Mayfield and them did last year, man, but I'm still not. I don't think the Buccaneers are like a team that I'm fearing. Like they just gonna run through that division again. Like they can be beat. And I think the Falcons definitely got the talent to beat them. Like easily. So I think the Falcons, if Penn, it's all gonna be revolving around him though. If he show up at quarterback, they gonna be legit. If he don't look too good, then that's gonna be bad. But you got top notch running back, top notch receiver. Kyle Pitts is a toss up. So you don't know what you're going to get there, but he has all the potential and the mechanics to be a top 5 tight end. He just don't never do it. So you got all the weapons. You got all the weapons over there, man. Atlanta is one of the teams I got my eye on because I want to see what Dude do with that talent around him. You know, so that might be a bold take for me that the Falcons make the playoffs, man, but I don't want to confidently say that yet. But they got the ability to win that division for sure. But my thing is the Bucks rookie receiver Luther Burden, Tyler Warren. Man, I'm keeping my eyes on them. I like Buddy from the Chargers, but that ain't a hot take. Hampton from the Chargers, he Dude is good. Everybody knows Dude is good. Everybody know Dude gonna eat. So that ain't really no hot take. Like Dude about to eat. So yeah, man, I'm at, hey, y'all know. I hate the politics of football, man. But when that's something that's been in your blood, man, you just watch it. You know, as much as like I'm telling me and my when I sit down with my pops, man, we talk about how soft the game has got, all that, but we still gonna watch it, man. It's like in your DNA when you just grew up with football, man. It's hard for you to disconnect from it. You know, that's part of my enslavement that I can't let go. You know what I'm saying? I boycotted it for a second, man, but I got right back into it, man. So that's my coon vibe right there. Sports, man. I can't let them go. I'll be tapped in, man. So that's why I be trying to support all the brothers that's in the sports. I try to buy their jersey, whatever. Any way I can contribute to the brothers eating in sports, man, I just got to do that. Because I tried to boycott it one time, man, but I had to get back to watching it. Basketball, though, I kind of disconnected from that, man. I hate the way they play basketball these days. So I don't be watching basketball like that. And that was my first love. Basketball is my first love, but now I can't stand watching it. I grew up with a certain brand of basketball, and this brand of basketball is not that, which is evolution. Things evolve, but I just don't like the product. So just because something evolve, don't mean I gotta like it. I don't like the product of basketball right now. I just can't stand it. And basketball is the first sport I ever loved. The first sport I ever played. Basketball was everything for me. And for me not to be watching basketball is deep because, like I said, I ain't get into football until later. As far as playing it, I mean, I always watched it, but playing it later. Basketball, I was always hooping. Like, I was always hooping. Like, that was it. I hooped. Like, I hooped. Stayed watching I'm recording back in the VCR days. I'm recording games. Like, man, that basketball was it. I was a student of basketball. Anything that transpired in basketball about mid-90s to about 2013, 2014, man, I can tell you all about it. Big Sky, 1,000%. Boy, you just said what I was about to say. That it's comparable to the WNBA. That me and my pops talk about that all the time. That's basically what this brand of basketball is now. Like NBA is WNBA basketball. A bunch of shooting. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of shooting. You can't play no defense, man. Like, it's just garbage. I'm so like I'm that's just not the brand of basketball that I like. I can't stand it. I can't stand it, man. I feel like and everybody might be biased toward their eras of basketball, so I might be biased, but I feel like that late 90s, mid to late 90s to early 2000s is some of the best basketball I've ever seen in my life. When you talking about the primes of Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is one of the GOATs for me. Tim Duncan is probably my favorite player of all time. Don't feel like that man get enough credit. But you talking about Tim Duncan's, Kobe, Shaq, T-Mac, Vince Carter's, Allen Iverson, and then I'm going to go Grant Hill's, Penny Hardaway's, man, Hakeem Olajuwon's, like Patrick Ewing's, Lonzo Mourning's, Tim Hardaway's, man, and I'm the 90s, segueing into the early 2000s. Then LeBron, Melo, Wade, and them come in about 03, 04. So, man, and then like the Detroit Pistons squad, man, my goodness, Garnett and them, Amare Stoudemire, Dirk, man, there's some of the best. Rasheed Wallace, Zach Randolph's, man, it's some of the best basketball I've ever seen in my life. Steve Francis, man, Stephon Marbury, man, I could name all type of underrated cats from those eras that didn't get no love, that if they played now, be dropping 40. Man, Stephon Marbury and Steve Francis would be dropping 35, 40 easy in this era. Easily. My goodness, the way you can't guard nobody, man, Steve Francis was dude. Man, if you remember basketball from back then, man, Steve Francis was Derrick Rose now before Derrick Rose. He just was tripping. You know what I'm saying? But Steve Francis was of the Derrick Rose caliber before Derrick Rose. Anybody that watched basketball back in the day remembers Steve Francis. That was my guy. Steve Francis was on Derrick Rose type of time before there was Derrick Rose. It's like, so what they say, before there was Derrick Rose, there was Steve Francis. Man, Steve Francis was cold, man. Steve Francis was cold, bro. Like, if you remember Steve Francis, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. Steve Francis was cold, dog. Like, that Steve Francis was cold. I still remember that dunk contest where it ended up being Steve Francis, T-Mac, and Vince Carter when Vince Carter won that joint. It was Steve Francis, man, that was back when dudes competed in the dunk contest and everything. Steve Francis, Vince Carter, T-Mac. And I forgot who else was in that thing. I know Larry Hughes ended up being in that joint. And it was another cat that, man, was it Stackhouse? I can't remember. But it ended up being them three. Like, man, that dunk contest so nice. I recorded that on the VHS. Man, that's my favorite dunk contest of all time, other than Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon going at it, because they went at it. I ain't gonna even lie. Them cats went at it. My goodness, they went at it. Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, they had a nice dunk contest, man. That dunk contest was crazy work. But that Steve Francis, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady final, man, that was cold. Man, Vince Carter 8. And I ain't even, man, it's people from that era I ain't even named that was like low-key crazy. Man, like Antoine Jameson. Like, I will name names like that to where you didn't forgot about them and they was cold. Elton Brand, like, dudes was nice, man. That was just some of the best basketball I ever seen in my life. The Lakers. Allen Iverson is my favorite player of all time. Because I'm a small guy, Allen Iverson is my GOAT. Like, the way people feel about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, I feel that way about Allen. Allen Iverson can do no wrong in my eyes. I'm sorry. Being a small basketball player, man, Allen Iverson he literally was my Michael Jordan. That man gave me hope. And then he resonated with the culture. Man, I had my hair braided, rocked the sleeves. I did everything like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was two players that it was three for me. Allen Iverson, Penny Hardaway, Gary Payton. That was like that was it. That was my holy trinity of basketball players. But Allen Iverson was it. Allen Iverson was it, man. But growing up, like Penny Hardaway, Gary Payton, and Allen Iverson. But Allen Iverson was at the top of the top. And then another underrated dude, Grant Hill. Boy, Grant Hill so cold. Them injuries killed that man. But Grant Hill, man, come on. Man, Grant Hill was not, man, Larry, like we talk about people like Zion Wilson, man, but Larry Johnson, if he ain't had no back problems, they call it Grandma Ma, y'all like, come on, man. Larry Johnson was dude. He just got hurt. That back, like his back just was turning him up, man, but Larry Johnson was a force. A force, fam. Oh, yeah, I was dude in football. He was cold. Man, I'm telling you, Allen Iverson, Allen Iverson is my GOAT. I just done pound for pound. Allen Iverson is my favorite athlete of all time. And I always say that without hesitating. Like, without hesitating, I'll be like Allen Iverson. They say, who your favorite player? Allen Iverson. I don't even let you finish the sentence. Like, culturally speak, like Allen Iverson and then Mike Vick. Like, I was growing up right around that Mike Vick era, man. Michael Vick, man, listen. The impact Michael Vick had on the game, bro, that can't be matched, man. Michael Vick, man, I'll never forget when Michael Vick came into the league. Boy, I'll never forget that impact and just what it did for the culture, man. Michael Vick coming into the league, the way he changed the way you played the video game. Like, Michael Vick changed the way we played Madden. Like, man, I became good at Madden because Michael Vick. Man, I was trash at Madden until Michael Vick came on the scene. Man, Michael Vick came onto the scene, man. Michael Vick changed the way I played the video game. Michael Vick gonna always get his flowers from me, man. I remember like it was yesterday, Michael Vick coming into the league, man, and what he did for the culture, what he did for the league, and just how he changed the game. Like Michael Vick, man. If you remember back then, man, you know what I'm talking about. Michael Vick changed that game, man. I used to love playing Madden when Michael Vick came out. Well, I'm about to turn. Yep, I got the Falcons. Boy, you used to hate how we played. Like when you played against anybody that had Michael Vick back when Madden first came out, you used to hate playing against them. All we finna do is run with them. Man, we ain't about to pass that ball, man. We about to take off running. And you couldn't do nothing with it until you randomly figured out, you know what I'm saying, that you could go get the Panthers and Julius Peppers was just as fast. Or the Buccaneers that had that crazy defense. And you had to put the spy on them. And you had to have the dude follow them. You had to have Julius Peppers or something follow them. And that right there slow you down, but you still barely could do something with it. But man, Michael Vick changed the way I played the game, man. Man, Terrell, I'm trying to tell you, Randy Moss and Michael Vick. Like at that, like that was, man, Randy Moss and Michael Vick. Like we created a whole terminology around catching the ball over somebody. Like, bro, you got mossed. Like Randy Moss came in that league, man. You got mossed. We to this day you got mossed. Like when they came in the league, man, it was crazy. Michael Vick, Randy Moss, like them two dudes, man. When I saw them enter the league, bro, I'm like, man, what am I seeing? I remember watching Randy Moss in college when he had like Chad Pennington as his quarterback or something, man, just at Marshall. And I'm like, man, this dude nice. And he got into the league, and it was a wrap from there, man. Randy Moss was dude. You knew exactly what Randy Moss was gonna do, and could not stop it. Randy Moss ain't have no type of bag route running wise. Like, he ain't about to run too many routes, but the route he was gonna run, he was gonna kill you. Randy Moss gonna tear you up, just run right past you, and you can't do nothing about it. You know he finna do it. You put that hand up and you got Moss. That's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Watching that, crazy, man. You just know you know how sad that is, man. When you know what somebody gonna do and they still do it to you anyway. Like that's horrible. If you didn't play sports, like that's horrible. When you know what somebody gonna do and they do it to you anyway. and kill you. Like, you knew this was coming, man. That's embarrassing. Like, that tears your ego. That will tear your ego up when you know what somebody gonna do to you, and they still able to do it, man. You like, man, I knew he was gonna hit me with that E, and I still couldn't stop. They playing all the way off on Moss, backing all the way off. He still run past. Yeah, Moss was dude. Yeah, Moss was dude. Yeah, Lakers. I'm gonna say so from a fan perspective, like from my eyes, Randy Moss is he's my favorite receiver of all time. The best. I still be tossing up with Jerry Rice, man. Jerry Rice is nice. Anything touch that man hands, he ain't dropping it. And he gonna run some great routes. Like Jerry Rice, probably to me is the best receiver, but then Moss right there. But Jerry Rice is cold, man. My goodness. Jerry Rice, man, gonna run a nice route, man. That ball, and he ain't the fastest on the planet, man, but he gonna run them precise routes, and anything hit his hands, he catch it. Same way with Fitzgerald, man. Anything touch their hands, man, they just don't drop it. But Moss, man, one day I might wake up and say, nah, it's Moss. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't, you can't go wrong with that conversation to me, man. But Jerry Rice got to be the best receiver I've seen personally, man, to me. But my favorite would be Moss. Like watching, I like watching Randy Moss more so than anybody as far as the wide receiver position go. And it was unfortunate for me because I ain't no tall dude, so it wasn't much I could do. But when you were short and you were still able to Moss people, that was an accomplishment. Hey, straight up though, I might have to do more of these sports talks, man. Like it be getting grimy talking about sports. I like talking sports, just don't never do it on here. But I might have to start doing this more. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I could tap back in that history. And I forgot to mention one of my favorite players, basketball players back in the day, my man's the Rain Man. I'm gonna test y'all knowledge. Y'all better know who that is. Y'all better know who the Rain Man is, fam. I'm gonna test y'all knowledge, man. Y'all better not Google that. Y'all better know who the Rain Man is out the gate. Y'all should know it because you know what I'm saying? The Rain Man was my guy. Mr. Sean Kemp. You know, the Blake Griffin before Blake Griffin type vibes. Sean Kemp, why I'll never forget, hurt my feelings, man. This is probably last time my feelings was hurt. You know what I'm saying? When Michael Jeffrey Jordan beat the Supersonics. Man, I wanted Gary Payton to win that so bad, man. But I knew I was like, man, Jordan about to, can't do nothing, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, man. But I'll never forget that finals, man. I was rooting for the Supersonics so bad, man. And Michael Jordan them just beat, man. It just wasn't even really no. If y'all remember that finals, man, it wasn't a lot of hope for the Sonics to begin with. Like, I think that was at the 96. That was 96. I'll never forget that, man. I'm like, man, there was no hope. You know, they was already underdogs. So I'm like, come on, man. I was rooting for the Rain Man and the glove, man. And yep, it's just certain people that you just shouldn't root against. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was one of them. He just destroyed a lot of my favorite players at the time from winning something, man. Rooting against Michael Jeffrey Jordan failed me in life, you know. But that was one of the times I remember, man, 96. I was rooting for them Supersonics, man. Some of the best jerseys on the planet, man. I love them jerseys, the Sonic jerseys. Michael Jeffrey Jordan now, man, beat him, what was it, 4-2? Oh, George Earl, oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. My man's nice. My man's was nice. But yeah, man, basketball, man, is my thing, especially, you know, back in the day basketball. Nowadays, like I say, I don't like watching the product. I might tap in if I ain't got nothing else really to do. I'm out here watching Angel Reese now. They suck. My goodness, Angel Reese. I mean, she been hurt, but man, that team garbage. I'm like, come on, Angel, put on for the culture. Give us some wins, man. Like they talking about you, and then y'all suck. They need to get. They need to. But they loaded old Caitlin Clark team up. Loaded her squad up. Like they had that one season with Caitlin Clark, and they went and gave the Fever all type of talent. What they do for Angel Reese, they go fire her coach, then start to get rid of old girl that got that had the attitude, Kennedy Carter or something, that was scoring all the points. Get rid of her. It's like they just put her. That team sucked. The Chicago Sky is horrible. But Caitlin Clark, they say, okay, we see what the Fever just did. Now let's make this team even better. They about to do the same thing with the other white chick, Paige. Her team suck right now. Now watch what they do in the offseason. They gonna restructure that whole team. That whole team about to look different. They about to put all type of talent around her. Angel Reese, them coach get fired, everything. Man, that team is horrible. I try to watch one of them. I'm like, man, this team, they suck. I be trying to root for the sisters. My goodness, I can't root for the trash team though, man. So I sit down and watch WNBA before I be watching some of this NBA trash out here. I don't let these dudes play no defense, man, cause it's just garbage, man. You got a fast break, and instead of you doing what you traditionally would do in a fast break, dude just shot a 3. It's 2 versus 1, and you shot a 3. Man, you better yam that ball over dude here. Like, what are you doing? Stepping back, stopping and shooting a 3 on a fast break. Man, that would have got you benched back. Like, you would have never seen the court for the rest of the game. You would have did that back when I was playing. You know, but I understand again things change, but that type of stuff, I ain't got time to be watching that, man. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta tap on out, man. I gotta finish some of this schoolwork, this reading, gotta write papers, all this type of stuff, man. School getting crazy. But I got a mission, man. I got a duty. I gotta get this schooling under my belt for sure. So I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid, man. Appreciate it. I might have to do some more sports builds, man. This was actually pretty cool. You know, it's actually pretty cool to talk sports. You know, but hey, I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Sunday, man. I appreciate y'all as always. I'm out though. Y'all be easy. Peace.